What's up? Coming here talking to you right now. And yeah, Black Lives Matters on the 4th of July. Just so you need to know, because I'm going to tell you something. With all the racism and attention going on right now, how can any country celebrate something when they haven't done right within? And never mind with those kids being separated from their families at the borders, but just Black Lives just here right now in America with what's going on. You know, when they talk about the 4th of July, they leave out, they talk about freedom, but whose freedom? Not being black in America freedom, because the march is still strong and there's still police brutality, still killing, still lynching, still segregating. So how can you celebrate something when you're not part of the situation? They're still making a mockery of the fact that how they've obtained the country. So, you know, when you're up here watching things that are unfolding, the impact in Black America, it's very real. So, I mean, like founding forefathers sitting on some dollar bills that were slave masters who profit off of lynching and killings and hangings. How you celebrate that? I just can't. I don't even get it with that, because it's just so much of an injustice and such a depth that you're looking at a situation. When you talk about, I thought about the late great Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American Supreme Court justice, and as far as I'm concerned, the only one that counts, because I'm not giving that tap dancing coon dog Uncle Clarence Thomas no love, because that turkey done sold. He sold so far off he can't even find his way nowhere home. But he said that if I was going to honor the bicentennial of 1776, he said I was going to be waiting on you. You know, think about it. You know, it was only in 64 with the Bill of Rights, Civil Rights Act. The voting is only in the 60s. Interracial marriage is legalized for black and white in 67. So when you're talking about what are you celebrating, you know, it's a reminder of the pain and the tension. And there needs to be Black lives that are marching on the 4th to say that, hey, we're still trying to get our freedom here. We're still trying to represent. We're still trying to have a voice. And we're still trying to make sure that we have a say. And the mass incarceration to the population is a grand injustice, you know. So it's one of those things that needs to be done with and dealt with and spoken on, because it's really, and the discrepancies are very huge and wide. So I don't get what to celebrate, except take a Black Lives Matter, speak out on something that's relevant to a so-called celebration of what? What are you celebrating? That you've been able to create genocide against a race of people, that you've been able to prosper at their pain and their suffering, and that you've whitewashed the history books, haven't told the truth about how this country was built, and also how the discrimination. And one day you so-called got to celebrate, the next day you go back to not giving said black person a bank loan, said black person a car loan, said black person a proper education, doctor care, medical care, all those things. So when you add all that up, you know, it's like, what are you exactly, like, you know, acknowledging? Because it doesn't really equate, except that it needs to be a friendly reminder that, hey, you start boycotting some things, put things in perspective, and say, hey, we're tired of this, you know, this injustice. And the truth is that Brother Marcus Garvey had the right idea about voting up and going back to the motherland with it, because there should be reparations. If you want to celebrate something in America, you should give black people reparations. Celebrate some real freedom. How about the 40 acres of the mule? How about proper education, trips to Africa, and also a fair amount of that money that Wall Street and other institutions have made off of black people to build this country? So, you know, open up them history books. Open up, you know, like how racist Trump won't open up his tax report. Won't you open up the real files? How you trillions of dollars, but you made a gazillion dollars off of black bodies and black skins through the Atlantic. That even though there were Africans who partook in all that, the Jim Crowism of America is not. There's a fine line when you have prospered in this land. So I'm just here talking about the Black Lives Matters on the 4th of July. Peace.